Well, hey, do Buckaroos, how the heck are you? So I just picked this up yesterday, as a matter of fact. I know it's not Irish whiskey, and it's St. Patrick's Day, but being an Irish American, I think I feel like bourbon is my kin whiskey, although I do like some Irish whiskey as well. So anyway, I picked this up yesterday because I was doing a tasting at this particular store for my work, a doctor's orders in Rogers, Arkansas. Let me show you that actually, so you can take a look at that. Where they pick their own particular barrel they want to use. OBSV, 35% rye mash bill, bottled January 18th of 2018. It is 100 proof. Delicate fruit, spicy, creamy. It is all that actually. So here's the thing. I had a small sample at the store last night. They gave me a little taste. It was good enough for me to buy a bottle. And again, this is a single barrel bourbon whiskey, 100 proof, and it was $40 a bottle. I mean, that really ain't bad at all if you think about that. Anyway, so I've got it poured two ways, rocks and neat, but I don't want to get too much water in here, so I'm going to drink the rocks first here. I'll be honest with you. This is probably a whiskey I'm going to drink probably 80% of the bottle neat, but I did want to try some on the rocks. I did a live video last night after I got home with the rocks and neat. If I do a regular video, rocks and neat, the rest of us probably going to go down neat, but it is 100 proof, so I don't think a little water is going to kill her. What I noticed about it though, when I had that small sample at the brewery, probably poured me about a half ounce at the brewery at the store. Was I've had the single barrel before. This one felt oakier. It felt oakier and a little spicier. And the nose, you really feel that it's very oaky on the nose, a little spicy on the nose. I was getting a cinnamon with a hint of cayenne. That was the spice notes I was picking up. It's also rather sweet, and I was getting a very dark brown sugar with a hint of honey. That's the sweetness I was getting. Yeah, it does take to the water very well. And for me, I mentioned this before, there's what I call the sweet spot, where you get that just right amount. You get that right amount of water melted in there, the right coldness, and it really brings all those sugars to the surface. Now, if you wait too long, get too much water, you kill it completely. But you got that little bit of a sweet spot where it just brings everything to the right. That's what I'm kind of going for here, and I'm almost there. After that first drink, I can tell I'm right about there. But what I got in that first drink is a lot of smoky, a lot of oak, a lot of spice. I did feel some sugars. Certainly feel a nice amount of vanilla as well. I'm getting a dark caramel. Sometimes I feel toffee. I'm feeling more of a very dark, almost like burnt sugar caramel going on. It's a gorgeous whiskey. I mean, listen, $40 ain't cheap for a guy like me. For some, it isn't an expensive whiskey. For me, $40 is a little pricey. Again, I'm talking about 100 proof whiskey. A single barrel 100 proof bourbon for only $40. I mean, damn, it really is that good. And what they told me was because they bought the whole barrel, it was a bit of you're spending more, but you're spending less per unit. So they were able to put a nice price on it. I think it was like 39.88, something like that. So yeah, for me, it's worth every damn penny. It really is that good. I don't know if any of my friends out there or are in driving distance to Rogers, Arkansas. But if you are, go to doctor's orders. Talk to Mike out there. Tell him the Beer Whisperer sent you. Uh, this whiskey really is that good. It's outstanding. It makes my willy salute. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, I'm right at that sweet spot right now, though. Yeah, so before I was getting more smoky, uh, more smoky, more oak, which is great. But now the sugars have really come to the surface. I know if I let it go too much longer, I'm going to lose it all. But right now the flavors are gorgeous. I love the spice notes, though. I mean, I've had several whiskeys that give me some nice spice notes. You get some spice notes from rye, but a lot of it's in the oak as well. I've learned over the years. The spice notes I'm getting from this, again, it's mostly cinnamon with just that slight hint of cayenne in there, and it's very nice. Oh, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's a big, bold, nice, oaky, bourbon, but I won't say it's in your face because it doesn't offend in any way. It's just there's a lot of flavors, there's a lot going on, yet it's just easy to take in. So there you go. We'll finish the rocks. I'm gonna head on to neat, man. Sometimes I go into hippie voice for no apparent reason. I have different characters I like to go into from time to time. Mercy, using my Jack Daniels glass. I don't know if you noticed on this one here. Using this one that I like to use for rocks. This particular Jack Daniels glass I like. These are my dad's glasses, and I've said in other videos, if you haven't heard, that they were recently unboxed. I've had them stored away for quite some time, and I'm glad to finally get them out, get them cleaned up, and use them because that's what Pops would have wanted. Miss my dad, miss my son. Getting a little sad today. My dad passed away in '98, the same year my son was born. April 23rd of this year, my son passed away 5 years ago. Uh, he was 14 due to leukemia, cancer. Uh, but he loved St. Patrick's Day. I'm doing this video on St. Patrick's Day. I made some Irish stew earlier. I just finished my corned beef. Just finished up. Uh, finishing up the. I kind of par cooked some taters the other day. I'm finishing them up now to make cold can them out of. Seamus love cold cans, so I'm doing that. But I want to do a video. I did a live video for this last night for the Four Roses, but I want to do a video that I can upload to YouTube. So there you go. The nose is nice, though. It's interesting. It is a bit different than the rocks. I'm getting some nice smoky notes. It's very woody, very oaky. A lot of vanilla, a lot of spice. And you do get, you do get a little bit of sweetness. Like I said, when I was tasting it there, it felt like a dark brown sugar and honey-like note. And here on the nose, I'm kind of getting, oh, my wife's calling me. Oh, darn. Here, I'm going to pause the video and come back. And I'm back. It's seamless when the video is not live, right? We have to call during live videos, it becomes a problem. But hey, I can stop the video here. So here's the situation. My daughter has a friend getting married. Kind of happened on short notice. They've been together. The couple have been together for quite some time, but they just decided they were going to get married and put together rather quickly. And then the original plans they had as far as a reception kind of fell through. So we're trying to help them out, being who we are, both my wife and I. So anyway, they were gonna do some. Originally, wanted to have it catered. Money became an issue. So, well, can you grill some hot dogs? Yeah, I'll do anything on the grill. But I also mentioned that I do have a deli background, and for Callista's wedding, that I just made sandwich trays and that kind of thing. So anyway, they just decided at this very moment of that phone call that they want to do some sandwich trays. So I said, yeah, I'll do that. So we're kind of going over about how much meat and cheese they're going to need for X amount of sandwiches. So anyway, not that you need to know all that, but that's kind of what I do in my videos. I tell you everything you need to know and more. Back to this particular bourbon. I gotta be honest with you. I am just wow. I may have to buy another bottle of this. I'm kind of tapped out this week, as it were, as far as spending money. But I'm hoping they'll have some left when I get my next paycheck, because this thing is just amazing. I love the Four Roses single barrel. Like I said, I've had it before. It's a very nice whiskey. But this barrel they picked out is gorgeous. I got to be honest, though, I tend to be a fan of store single barrel anything. I've bought them before of other products. It seems like when a store puts some time and energy into picking out a particular barrel, and it's I don't know, I hesitate to use the word better, but it's always distinctive and a little bit different than from what than the mass product that you can buy. So I always find those interesting. And this one is really good because I mean, when I talked to the owner over there, when he said when he was tasting, what he wanted was a high rye mash bill. He wanted to feel a lot of spice. The oak, you know, will typically give you a lot of spice. A lot of it depends on how it's aged. And that's why he picked this barrel out, because he wanted that high spice. He did well. This barrel is brilliant, especially if you like oaky and spicy, which I particularly do. It's absolutely brilliant. So there you go. Something tells me I'm going to get a phone call again shortly. I'm going to try to wrap this up. Oh, kids, right? Yeah, so when our daughter got married a handful of years ago now, it's been a while, but yeah, when she got married, though, again, it was kind of the same situation. They wanted to have a nice wedding, but money was tight. They wanted to really save most of it for the honeymoon, which is kind of what my wife and I recommended. Because you can spend, X amount of money for a wedding, but do you really need it? I mean, these people today think they got to spend this crazy amount for this big gaudy wedding. It's this big narcissistic, please look at me wedding. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. A wedding shouldn't be about a whole bunch of things and spending a lot of money. A wedding is about spending the rest of your lives together. If you can't put that in front, I mean, the idea of spending $30,000 for a wedding to me is ridiculous. There is no need to do that. It is asinine on every level. It is narcissistic as all hell. It's not about spending a lot of money. It's about looking at the person you love and want to spend the rest of your life with. Everything else is just window dressing. So when our daughter got married, they wanted a nice dress, nice wedding, but money was tight, so we helped in a lot of ways. My wife uh, can sew like nobody's business, so she made my daughter's dress. And I have a deli background, so I handled the food end. It wasn't a sit down dinner, but it was presented nice. I mean, I made nice sandwich trays. There was a bunch of other things. I took care of the beer and the bar neck of the woods, and it was. I guess my point is, you can do something nice that's not this crazy expensive dog and pony show. What's funny to me is I think if you look at the divorce rate, I bet divorce is higher amongst people that spent more on the wedding than those that just married organically. Just relax, enjoy yourself. So there you go. Anyway, drinking some whiskey, but I felt I needed to go on a little rant there. Well, my wife and I got married just shy of 24 years ago now. We were kind of in the same situation. I was starting a new job. So money wasn't great, but we wanted a nice wedding. So my parents lived had a nice little place by at that time, so we got married out there. So the scenery was beautiful. Um, both my mom and my sister said they would handle the food for us, so they made some. Again, it was sandwich stuff, but it was done well. It was done tastefully. My brother stepped up and said he wanted to handle the bar, so he took care of the bar. And what he did at the time was, because he had, about a year or so to get it ready, that he would, every paycheck he bought a bottle of something and he had it ready. By the time we got married, it was freaking brilliant. So I don't know. I just, I scratch my head when I hear folks talk about these, 20, 30, $40,000 dog and pony show weddings. And I'm thinking, why are you doing that? Why is that important? What's important is spending your life together, not having everybody look at you in this poofy ass dress and having doves and butterflies, and that's just window dressing. That's just narcissistic behavior, and it's not good. Anyways, hey, poor Russ's single barrel didn't mean to go on a wedding rant. I've been kind of thing just bugs me though. My wife and I have been married 24 years, or just shy of 24 years, and we're in a society where the divorce rate is crazy high, and people want to obsess about the wedding. It's not about the wedding; it's about saying I do and living together the rest of your life. So there you go. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. I promise. Back to the bourbon. Bourbon is brilliant. If there's a flaw with this bourbon, I would just say that it makes me chatty. As you can see, damn, Tom, you talking like, yeah, it makes me a little chatty because it makes me giddy as hell. I'm happy. It puts the fire in my loins. I'll tell you that right now. Oh man, it is good. I love the spice notes. The back end spice notes is what I really love, though. I think he was thinking that the spice notes were coming from the rye. You are getting certain spice notes from the rye, but those back end spice notes are really coming from your barrel. And the cinnamon, the cayenne that I'm getting are from the barrel and not from the rye. But the rye does impart some spice. God, it's an absolutely gorgeous purpose. So there you go. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer today at this particular moment. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy whatever day. I don't care. Celebrate whatever you want. I don't give a rat's ass. Sweat off my balls. I'll tell you that right now. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. WhiskeyVangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, Purveyor of Wisdom. Man, I got a burp stick right here. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Well, I am giddy, man. This stuff makes me chuckle. Oh, and all around, good guy. You all have a good one.